Hey everybody, my name's A.W.E. I'm here with another video from A.W.E. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own pixel art. First, you're going to want to open your web browser, and you're going to go to pixelart.com. That's pixilart.com. When you open it, it should look something like this. So, you see here, we've got the Start Drawing button. You've also got the option to create an account. You don't have to do that, but it's free. And if you do, it's an easy way to save your art. But don't worry, if you don't want to make an account right now, you can just save it to your computer and download it. You don't have to worry. You're going to click Start Drawing right here in the middle, and you'll have this page come up. Now, here in the center, they have the option of the Daily Drawing Challenge. If you're ever like me and you don't know what to draw, this is a good spot to get an idea. And every day, there'll be a new challenge. So, it says Eagle here. We're going to skip that right now just so that we can get a little bit familiar with this program. I'm going to have you click 100 by 100, and that's going to give us our very first blank canvas. So, those of you who don't know what pixel art is, you see how we've got a lot of little boxes here, kind of like a checkerboard. Well, right now, we've got the pencil tool selected, and so whenever we click it, we're going to color in one of these little boxes. Each of these boxes are called a pixel, and together, once we color a bunch of these, it's going to make the shape of something. Unlike normal art, we don't have really smooth lines. In pixel art, everything is made out of these little pixel boxes. Some of you might be familiar with pixel art, and that's because you've probably seen it in a video game. Back when technology wasn't so advanced, they had a very limited amount of colors that they could work with, and they had to use pixel art. And so they would have to use these different shapes and colors, a very limited amount of colors, to be able to show you what a drawing was. And here we can see how that changed over time. Eventually they go to 3D, but a lot of artists choose to continue to still use pixel art. And that's because we can use a lot more colors now, and it can end up looking really cool. But here's just some examples of different video games. Some of you might have seen Pac-Man. Here's a sunset that someone did with all these colorful clouds. And these are just some ideas of things that you're going to be able to make. You see how it gets more detailed, and they're using shading for the shadows. Even these people are made out of pixel art, and that looks way different than the first Mario we looked at. Stardew, another popular game. This is one of my favorites, all done in pixel art. I mean, even this is pixel art, but here they use lighting effects, which is something that maybe we'll learn to do a little bit later in a different program that you can add on top of your drawings to make it look like it's something a little bit crazier than pixel art. Alright, so getting back to our drawing, I'm going to get you a little bit familiar with the tools in this program so that we're able to make our own characters in a future video. Here we've got the pen tool. So if you just click on your drawing, you won't have the red circle on your screen. That's just to show you where my mouse is. But here we've got the pen tool, and this is just going to draw one by one each square. And we've got the brush tool, which is going to have a much bigger line, and it's got its own little dots around it. And this is good maybe if you want to do some shading. It's going to change the color automatically on the pixels around the very center so that it looks lighter. You can see that maybe let's change to a different color in our color palette over here. You see how there's different shades of yellow when we click. We can also change the size down over here by our color, and that's going to make it even bigger, which is a little bit hard to see with this tool. Let's try going back to the pencil tool. Oh yeah, see, that's a much larger square. If you hold while you click, it's going to start making a line. But it's always going to be in that pixel shape. There's never going to be a smooth line per se. Now let's make our size back small again, and we're going to go back to all these little dots, right? Now let's try our line tool. This is very handy when you want to draw something, because it's kind of hard to make a straight line in pixel art. So you can just move the end around, click and hold, and then you're going to let go wherever you want it to stop. See, there's a long straight line. I'm going to click over here and keep holding and pull it wherever I want it to end. Over here we've got our bucket tool. I'm going to fill this little square over here with, let's do a blue. And you see how it filled? Oh, this color must not have been a solid white. Everything has to be the same color if you want to fill it in. And it has to be closed around all edges. Because watch this, if I click over here, the whole thing is going to be blue. It doesn't know exactly where I want it to stop, so it has to know by whatever's the same shade. It doesn't look like this is all one color because it's a checkerboard, but that's because that's how it tells us that we haven't drawn there. See, now if I click yellow, it's going to color this whole thing that's pink over here if I use the bucket tool on it. See? We also have a text tool. So if you want to write your name, my name's A.W.E. A-E-I. And over here we have the move tool, which would move our whole drawing around. This is going to be handy when we work on layers in our next video, which is basically a way of separating different parts of our drawing so that we only move a little bit instead of the whole picture. Let's say you've done a whole drawing, right? And you want to use the same color that you've used before, but you're looking over here and you can't find it. Well, a good tool to use is the color picker tool. You can also press V to go to it without having to click all the way over here. But I'm going to click the color picker tool and I'm going to click on this turquoise. And now you can see if I click again, it's not going to be that color, because right now when I'm on the color picker tool, it's just taking whatever color that I click on and making it my brush color, but it won't actually change to my brush unless I click the pencil tool. So first I'm going to click this teal, and now I'm going to be sure to click the pencil tool so that my brush is actually going to be painting now. Now if I want to change back to this pink, I can click it again, go to the color picker tool, click pink, and now go back to my pencil tool. You can make sure that it's changed by looking over here. This will be whatever color that your paintbrush is going to be. Click over here. The other way to change your color is to go all the way over here and click whatever color you want. Now let's say we're looking over here and we don't see a color that we want. We're going to click the little box over here next to the size tool. We're going to click this, and this is going to come up. Now here we can see a nice big rainbow, right? Well, we can click here. This is one way to change your color. If you want to, if you see a color you like right in this box, you can just click it and it'll change to that. But make sure you click select color so that it saves. See, now it's changed, and now I can color, right? I'm going to click it again, and let's say I don't want it to be pink like this. We can click over here and drag it down. Oop, you got to click the middle actually. Got to drag it down, and now I'm going to do this blue, right? Make sure I click select color, and now I can click my screen. It'll go away on its own, and now it's going to start drawing again. Let's say that I'm having a hard time clicking the color exactly as I want. I want something that's a little bit darker than this. One easy way to do that is to go over here to the bottom one and click and hold, and it's going to start changing to darker or lighter depending on which way I drag it. This is going to stay the color that you were before so that you can see by comparing them if it's getting lighter or darker. So I want it to be darker, and I'm going to do select color to make sure it saves. Now you see how it's darker. And this is going to be really helpful when we're learning to shade our character. Now I want a lighter color, so I'm going to go back here, click, and now I'm going to drag up. Alright, do select color. Well, that looks a little bit too close, so I'm going to click here, and then keep going up. So it's a little bit lighter. There we go. Let's say that's not light enough, right? So we're going to click this tool over here, which is saturation, and that tells us how much blue is in the color. I'm going to click and drag, and it's going to go side to side, and that's going to be more blue or less blue in the color. So I'm going to go over here, and now see, that's a lighter color than what we had to start with. Now I'm going to color that in. Now you can see we've got 3 different colors. This was our base color here in the middle. This is our low light, which is our darker color, and this is our highlight, which is our lighter color. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you with information in this first video. We've been introduced to our tools that we've got here, the pencil tool. Oh, and most importantly, the eraser tool. Let's say you don't like something that you drew, just color over it with the eraser tool over here. We can also make it bigger by going over here and changing the size of our eraser, and then go back to our pencil tool. So we've got familiar with the pencil tool, now the eraser tool, our brush tool, our line tool, which can also change in thickness. Go back and play around with the size. We've got our bucket tool. We tried out our move tool, our text tool, and we've learned a lot about colors here. In our next video, I'm going to show you how to make your very own character using all these different tools, and we'll maybe introduce ourselves a little bit to layers. I hope that you learned something, and I hope to see you when we do our live hangout. Have a great day, everyone. And I encourage you to make your own art, play around. We've got an abstract piece kind of going right now, which, to be honest, I think is pretty cool. And I encourage you to play around and try out all these different tools. I'll see you guys in the next video.